San Diego Comic-Con has come and gone, and me and Jarmar are going to argue about some turtles. Hello and welcome to Modern Toy Fair. I am your host, Mr. Modern Toy Fair, and I am joined by the founder of the NECA Illuminati, the delayer of shipments, the procrastinator of pre-orders, the perfect person, my YouTube wife, Mrs. Modern Toy Fair, Jarmar_Games. But that's not all. I'm also joined by the man Modern Toy Fair has full custody over. The man Optimus Prime popped and he refuses to stop. The Twilight Knight, the master of mech, the three-pump chump of taking this show off the rails, Nate. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
I'm intrigued.
I'm exhausted.
Oh, awesome! I am fresh from well, by the time this comes out, but I'm fresh from Barbie, so you may not be able to tell.
I've only seen half of that.
My pink Dragon Ball shirt. So
yeah, I've only got half of it.
You only saw half of it?
Yeah, so we went, and the theater we went to had an electrical fire about an hour in, and they were like, hey, well, first off, they didn't tell anybody what actually happened. The power went out, but then the generator kicked back on, so the lights came back on. Then someone went to out to see what was going on, because the movie didn't, start back up, and they said, we're kicking everybody out. We can't guarantee that the movie will play all the way through, so we'll give you a voucher to come back another day because we're closing for the night. And then some people overheard there was electro fire over in the concession stand area, which the lights at the concession stand area were flickering. And then the kid who came and finally kicked us out, because a lot of us just kind of sat there because the theater we went to had 20 theaters. So we all didn't want to have to go and deal with the chaos that was going to be in the very tiny lobby.
Yeah.
So we were sitting there, and this kid comes in. He's like, "Hey guys, yeah, it's a safety hazard. We got to kick you out. We got to get everyone out of the building. Blah blah blah." And so that kind of cemented how frazzled he was and the wording he used. I'm like, okay, yeah, there's some validity to this electrical fire theory that people have claimed to heard. So yeah, we got an hour in. Literally, we got to the point where it started to get super meta. And then it just cut out. So we have to go back to see it.
So I told my wife that this happened to you, and she questioned, what did you get? And I'm kind of like, what do you mean? Because, yeah, you get your ticket, but did you get a refund?
No, so they give you a paper voucher for QR code that's good for one ticket. So we each got one.
That's a bummer. That's a bummer.
Oh, I agree. I feel
now you have to watch the first half of the movie again, which it was. And
we have to buy food again.
You just didn't.
We spent $25 at concessions, and they didn't offer anything for that. And I wasn't gonna. We were both because we both have anxiety, and there was a big crowd, so we were both just wanting to get the hell out of there. So I deep down wanted to be well, bitch, where's my money? But at the same time, I was like, let's leave. Yeah. Let's get our voucher and go, and we'll figure out when we're gonna see it again.
That's fair.
Now that we've officially bored to shit anyone who doesn't normally watch this show, let's get into the point. So this past weekend was Comic-Con. Tons of new announcements.
It was?
Right? That's kind of jumped up on us all. So tons of new announcements, and at this point, I feel like if you're watching this, you've probably seen 3,000 people do recaps. So rather than make you sit through a recap of everything, we're just going to go over the stuff we're excited about. Short and sweet. Give some opinions, talk about it, and then send you on your merry way. So let's jump right in. Who wants to be first up the bat here? Who's the most excited?
I'm just kind of interested in more of what we're gonna fight about, but I also would not to nauseate Nate. Ooh, look at that alliteration right there. So do you want to share what you're excited about, Nate?
I'm excited about very
little. Is that what you're about to say?
Oh,
yeah. There was some cool stuff But nothing really like knocked my socks off. Nothing was like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And I feel like we are at the point of like, it's almost like where we were like in 2008, 2009 with like the Marvel movies. You know, back then we were like, oh my God, I can't believe we live in a world where this happened. You know, that, you know, Nick Fury came out of the shadows and talked to Tony Stark, and Tony Stark was in the Hulk movie. Like, can you believe that? And that's kind of how it was early on in toys. And now it's just like, oh, okay, they're announcing a bunch of cool stuff. Great. Like, I have a bunch of cool stuff already.
Swear to God, Nate, if I spent the past 4 hours making 56 potential graphics and you're like, I didn't like anything, I'm gonna cry.
It's not that I didn't like it, and I'm sorry if you're gonna cry, but I will say the one thing that I was genuinely thrilled about was the execution of the HasLab Ghost project.
Oh my God, that thing was massive.
Yeah, so it's strongly been rumored for months now. You know, we knew it was coming for the most part, except we just didn't have it confirmed. But to then actually see, you know, the model and to figure out the details of the campaign, I don't know that it could be any better, you know, to be honest with you. That one is really great. I'm loving the look of it itself. The price is comparatively good for other things of that nature. I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that.
I didn't see the price on it because I was
$4.99.
Like, I mean, so how much was? Do you remember how much the Razor Crest was?
Razor Crest was less. It was like $350. I want to say maybe $375. The Barge was $450. So this one is like wider than the Barge. Like,
it's also
lengthwise, but
it's also much bigger than the Razor Crest.
Much bigger than the Razor Crest, yeah. Absolutely.
So I guess it's like you're getting a value, I guess.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to sit here and try to say that $500 is not a lot of money. It absolutely is. But when you look at other pricings of things, like the Razor Crest at $375 and the Barge at $450, this at $499 is, I feel like I'm getting a value there. I'm already getting one exclusive carded figure, and the stretch goals are for 3 more. I honestly, people are freaking out that we're not going to hit these. It still has like 43 days to go.
It's already funded
at this point. It's funded. We still haven't hit the goals.
But so still, though, like goals. It funded in less than a week.
Right, in like 2 days, 2 or 3 days. So yeah,
like that's G.I. Joe level like success. Right. So like,
I don't understand people. They're getting upset about it or whatever. They're like, we're not going to hit it. I'm like, there's 43 days to go yet. It's about to feature in a major series that's going to air, you know, in less than a month. We'll be fine.
Second that they take everyone's money, they're going to blow it the fuck up.
Well, listen, and that's a fine joke. But I got 2 things against that because I get it.
Yeah,
it's a funny joke.
I know.
But it was in Rise of Skywalker, so we know for a fact that it at least lasts that long. And the Barge blew up 20 seconds after it first appeared. So
I know. It's just ironic timing that they blew up the Razor Crest literally the week after they took everyone's money.
I get it. It's what I'm saying. But a couple things I'll just bring up real quick. The figures that they're offering look amazing. They're realistic looks, which I knew that was going to be the case. That's what Vintage Collection is, and I'm totally okay with that. The accessories that come with it are great. Now, I look at it as they say exclusive card backs is how I see it. I have no doubt that these figures are going to get released in the main line at some point, but these card backs that we're getting with the mural from the final episode of the series, those are going to be exclusive, absolutely. Mm-hmm. But I think the value's there up front, and I think it's a great looking ship, and that was the one thing I was like, oh yes, this is really great. Not to say that I was overly disappointed by what was shown. I just wasn't as
wowed.
Yes, there was not a lot that just made me freak out. And we'll get into it more as we go along, and I'll put my 2 cents in. It's not to to deflate anyone's else.
Me and Jarmar will be like, oh man, talk about this, this, and this, and they'll be like, well, yeah, that was okay.
I mean, I get what you're saying though. Like, I mean, like, obviously we have like all the shit from NECA, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the stuff I'm not gonna say I expected it, but like it was kind of like, oh, that makes sense. Oh, that makes sense. It wasn't like, what? They're doing this? Like, you know what I mean? NECA, I get what you're saying. I totally get you.
Especially with NECA, because I'm a big fan of a lot of their other stuff. There really was, like, other than Flash Gordon, like, there really wasn't any, like, new license that they announced that I was like, oh my God. And Flash Gordon, I mean, it's great. The movie is fun in a really corny way, but I'm not going to spend $40 on those figures. I'm not that big of a fan. But I'm happy for those who are excited. I just, I was really hoping for a new license, a new, like, line or something.
Reviving the Godzilla line.
Well, yeah. Instead of, like, hey, we're showing off the humans in gargoyles. Okay.
I mean, they showed, if you want to get in the gargoyles, we can talk what really grinds my gears about this shit. They showed off the Night Out on the Town version of, it's not Brooklyn, it's
Broadway?
Broadway, yes, thank you. The fact that they're packaging that motherfucker with a soft goods jacket and folded fucking wings, plus all those accessories, and it's probably going to be $40 fucking dollars, pisses me off even more about that line.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
However, I'm going to buy him regardless because I want the takeout container and I want the bowl of chili. But I'm not going to enjoy it.
Okay. Don't enjoy it. Absolutely don't.
I just have a problem.
But I'm excited to hear about what you guys are excited about.
I guess if we're talking NECA, we might as well hop right into the Turtles then.
That's really
well, before we do that, I want to jump back real quick to Star Wars because I'm very disappointed in you for not being excited for the holiday special Chewbacca.
Oh,
it's cool. It's definitely cool. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely cool. I'll say that. It's the simple, easy repaint, redeco. I love the idea of it because it's a Disney Parks exclusive. Disney Parks actually celebrates Life Day in the park. Mm-hmm. So it's this little crossover thing. So yes, it's very cool. I will definitely get it. Now, had it been like B. Arthur from the holiday special or Art Carney from the holiday special or something like that, I would have been even more thrilled about.
How great would it have been if you finally got your Luke Skywalker like from that era, and it's the holiday special version where he's got like the eyeliner and the terrible wig.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be. Or I mean, I would love to get like Lumpy or Itchy, members of Chewbacca's family.
I'm honestly shocked they didn't make it a box set, to be honest.
Well, it's because it's not 2009 anymore. Like we would have got that stuff back then, but they just don't.
I don't know. It's surprising because they're literally making like box sets of random troopers all the time. So you think that they'd?
Yeah. They just don't have the Wookiee bodies for tooling. Modern Wookiee bodies is the problem. They've got Chewbacca, which is slightly outdated, and now Chrysanthemum, which I just saw some pictures of, which is a little disappointing. It's very small in relation to other Wookiees. I just saw a comparison.
You're talking about vintage collection?
Mm-hmm. Chrysanthemum, the new one. Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, I'll still get it, and it'll still be awesome, but it's just a little disappointed that he's so small.
All right, well, on to NECA. So yeah, I mean, obviously, tons of turtle news, as you mentioned, because there was other things that NECA talked about, but it seems the focal point, as always, is Ninja Turtles with them. So, where do you want to start, Jarmar? Because this is going to be, because you said, what are we going to fight about? And there's something in this that is what we're going to fight about.
First of all, can we talk about the fact that, no Randy?
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah.
That's very strange to me that he was absent. I don't know if like maybe he just wasn't feeling it or if he's just done with dealing with the public and he's like, listen, people seem to like Trevor, let him fucking do it.
Yeah, and Trevor's cool, don't get me wrong. And, Blaine is more of the spokesperson because he, I think, actually talked more about the other stuff and things like that. But even like Pixel Dan pointed out, this would have been like the 10th anniversary of the Dan and Randy show, and that was unfortunate not to see that. But I don't blame Randy though either. Like, people have been really shitty to him, and people don't realize, like one shitty comment, is not going to break somebody. But when it's 100 shitty comments a day about stuff that he can't talk about, I get it. Yeah. But it was a bummer to see, because he's been the face of NECA for so long, and maybe that's the plan. Maybe he's phasing out. I don't know. I
don't blame him, because I feel like being the face of NECA is not a fun job. So why would you want to be? And even then, like, he doesn't seem to be doing interviews anymore with all these other YouTubers and stuff. It always seems to be like 9 times out of 10 either Trevor or Blaine. So
it's Trevor if it's Turtles, it's Blaine if it's anything else.
So it just makes sense that like he's probably just like fed up with it. He's like, I just want to design toys and everything else can fuck right off.
Yeah. I'm sure the past, I'd say few years, but I feel like it's been longer than that now, more than few, but has wear down on him enough to where just like maybe that's not the side that he's passionate about anymore. So
I mean, we did dedicate an entire segment to Modern Toy Fair News to bashing the shit out of his toy line.
Not just Randy, I don't want to.
I mean, like we said we may or may not have said "fuck you, Randy" a couple times, but it was more so because he would like get shitty with people on the internet back. So it was just like, well, like that's a whole other conversation though. But anyway, Turtles. So where do you want to start?
I mean, it's something that is, I feel like was a small announcement. Not really a small announcement, but something I didn't really discuss with you guys in any of the chats or whatever too much about, because I think it was revealed one of the days I was like busy at work. But the Punk Turtles, that probably is like, oddly enough, the most exciting thing the thing I'm most excited for, like from the NECA line, just because it is one of those things that are slightly like, oh, they're doing it. So that was kind of cool. We had like the ones from Best Action that I debated multiple times of buying those ones just because I wanted like that kind of representation. But these look great. So that's.
I mean, we always knew that they were going to do it, so there was no reason to buy the Best Action ones.
But it was kind of it was more or less like, when is it going to happen? I don't know. Even still, these are just revealed, so we still don't know when it's actually going to happen.
I think we'll get the Punk Turtles before we get the Archie Turtles.
Definitely, because those were not even...
They weren't
like,
even
articulated. They were just like moded, So and the accessories look cool. I know that kind of, it's probably got to excite you a little bit, Michael. So we're not fighting there at all.
No.
The bags of groceries are pretty great.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, damn it.
That's awesome. What else really kind of got me excited? There was so much that happened during that time frame. I mean, we mentioned the Archie Turtles. I don't have like that huge like affinity for them. It's just cool and to see like another like wacky version of the Turtles. So I'm like 100% in on those. We did get the update for like the Universal. That was exciting. I think they look weird. They're still not personally better than what I have
you're talking
already.
about the Wolfman and
the Turtles,
Creature.
Wolfman and Creature from the Lagoon.
Sorry, you just said Universal, so I was just trying to think in my head what you
Universal
meant.
Monsters, I'm sorry.
I see. I love
it. Everything is turtle. I'm not saying I don't like them. They're cool, but I'm just like not like, falling to the floor like, oh my god. They're really good in a very good like NECA detailed way. If that makes sense. But I still have my favorite.
One thing I like better about these ones than the old ones, aside from the character choice, is it seems that they're making the masks brighter. So they pop more. Because if you notice, like, on at least Leo and Raph, they were a little more, like, dingy. Which made sense, because, like they're monsters. They're not going to have these nice, pretty, bright colors. But I feel like on the Wolfman and Creature, both masks were a little more prominent. Like you could see it and like be like, oh, that's Leonardo, and oh, that's Raph.
Yeah, I mean, that you pointing that out is, this probably isn't the thing we're going to argue about, but to me that it kind of lessens it a little bit. like looking at the Wolfman, like the pictures you have, I haven't actually seen this one. I just saw like the original, like in the case for like thing, and it being like significantly brighter than like the Frankenstein. It's a little weird because I like these is the idea of like these are turtles, but they're also like obviously monsters. So it doesn't have to be in your face for me to kind of appreciate that, but I get why you would.
Yeah, for me, like this is one of the few occasions where I get nostalgic because those monster turtles, or like, as a kid, like those stuck out to me. Like Donnie as Dracula, Mummy Raph, that glue in the dark, the Wolfman Leo, all of those. Like I love those as a kid for whatever reason. It may have been because I also really liked the Universal monsters, but
or Count Chocula and Blueberries.
I mean, it did love me some Count Chocula. But yeah, so for me, it was, these feel more like that because they feel less realism, more cartoony or more toyetic, I guess. So I think that's the thing that's drawing me towards them a little bit. It feels more turtles. The ones before it felt more monsters. These ones feel more turtles. I think maybe that's what it is.
So that's probably why we have this different distinction of like excitement for them, because to me, I have those, the original ones, so like I like to see it be like different. I felt like these were like the adult versions of that and getting a little bit darker. But yeah, now we're spending a lot of time talking about the monsters. But yeah, they were cool. They were cool. I don't dislike
that. That ironically was not what we were going to argue about. What we're going to argue about.
I still have no clue what
we're going to argue about is that we 110% predicted they're going to do individually packaged ultimate editions of each turtle. For the two.
That's for? Oh yeah, I guess that is for sure. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because they confirmed it in a. I think it was the Pixel Dan interview with Trevor. He confirmed that they're each coming individually as ultimate editions. So probably $40 each, and you're gonna get a bunch of new accessories to go with your same turtles you had in the Disguise 4-pack. The only thing they don't come with that one came with are the disguises, my understanding, but they have the same heads and swappable faces and all that.
Sure. I mean, I guess we did argue on a previous OnlyFans that's live every Wednesday at 10 o'clock. OnlyFigs, yeah.
To be clear, we did not get naked on the internet and argue that. I mean, if you pay enough, we will consider it.
Yeah, but
no, we'll just do it. Like, it's not even a consideration. We're ask. Total shills for that.
Just that's literally true. Just ask. But yeah, I'm not. I guess I have come to my realization. Maybe it's the cleaning out of my closet, both literally and metaphorically. I have realized that I just have a lot of stuff, and I don't necessarily need to buy every version of the Turtles. And these ones here, if it is pretty much the same, I'm just not gonna buy them. It's
even though kind of that bow staff effect is gonna come with Donnie.
Yeah, that's cool. It honestly really is. It's awesome. That's probably one of the only things that I would be like tempted in. And maybe I may change my tune when I see like the actual 4-packs and everything that come in it. But it just feels silly and dumb for me. Which angry man on the couch or on my porch screaming and saying like, "Hey, I paid for him earlier. I got him. I support it," and then like, "Oh, cool, you get the cool badass figure with all the extra fixings in there because you were either hesitant on the line or you didn't do it." It is kind of a bummer, but I think in reality, that's just, I guess, a part of the game. Like,
I mean, you could also always go and sell the old versions because it's not like these change the value because they come with different accessories, so they're always gonna hold value to someone.
You say that, but like we've discussed this before in the past, I'm just not a fan of like going through the work of selling something just because it's, I don't know. I think I would just legitimately just not buy them, and maybe one day they'll be clearanced out somewhere.
Doubt that because it's NECA, unfortunately.
Yeah, very doubtful for sure.
Mentioning that some Walmarts are clearancing out some NECA stuff, which I find interesting.
It's Walmart though; they don't understand what's going on. And
fair, but I'm just I just assume that they probably had the same setup that Target would have.
They probably do.
Yeah,
I'm saying like,
and NECA's is like, why are we only getting half of what it's worth?
Yeah. I'll just say this because I was excited about the Archie Turtles. Those were cool versions. I remember those very fondly. I was buying the Archie comic when it, moved from just adaptations of the cartoon, which was like issue 5, I think it switched over issue 6, and it was telling its own story, and it jumped into that intergalactic wrestling thing, and it was awesome. And I am excited, but then I was also like tempered a little bit by watching some of these recaps because we're getting those turtles, and we're getting the Punk Turtles, the more Universal Monster Turtles, and the Ultimate Turtles. Editions. And it's like
that is one thing that we asked for. We did ask for on an episode.
We literally did.
We asked for more variations of the Turtles, which I'm totally fine with that.
Yes.
I just don't like the idea of just re-releasing the same shit over and over again.
And we can get to that here in a minute too. With something else that NECA did that kind of pissed me off. No wonder Randy's hiding. Anyway,
we're like, come out and play so we can kick you.
I think yes, releasing versions of the Turtles is the way to go. It's what sells.
Sure.
But it does kind of take away my excitement level of it because I'm like, it's like another set. It's like I already have so many now, So it's just like, it's exciting and it's cool, but it like my initial like, oh my god, and then I was like, oh yeah. Another set of, and I was like, I don't know that I even have room. I'm not buying the other Archie stuff. It's
out of all the ones you mentioned, the only ones you're probably going to buy, the only ones that theoretically you're only going to buy would be the Archie ones because you already have the Toon Turtles, so you don't need the Ultimate Editions because you're not an accessory whore like me, and you already aren't in the Universal line,
right?
And you probably don't need the Punk Turtles.
Nope.
So that's 1 out of 4.
Yeah, but again, it did take away a little bit of the excitement. I'm not saying I'm right.
That like the other 3 were literally just not for you. Is all. It wasn't like you were like and then you're like, oh, never mind.
Yeah, it's just
too many options.
It's too many options.
Too many options.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that too. That could piss me off with something, and then we're gonna get to too many options.
So yeah, we'll wrap up the Ninja Turtles segment real quick, at least for NECA. So yeah, I love the idea of the Ultimate Turtles. Originally, I was like, oh, I'm only gonna get Donatello because I'm doing the like separate Donatello collection, and then I have my comic collection. And then it hit me. They said that, assuming that I even get the diorama at this point, based on what they said with the price point,
we could talk about that,
which we will here in a second. They said that a lot of the accessories shown come in the Ultimate Edition of each of the Turtles. So these Turtles aren't even just coming up with new accessories that are specific to them. They're coming with stuff that should be coming with that diorama, especially for the price they want. Because Trevor said he believes it's going to be $250. And they're also they're re-releasing the original accessory pack that came with the TV and the Baby Turtles. And allegedly they're doing a second accessory pack.
Can we just gotta, you did mention that, and we do have to admit, Nate, you're right. We have to do it publicly. But you did it in the chat. You're right, Nate. It was a long time after. You still have to order, but you were right. You're right.
I just want to add a caveat though, because yes, you were right, but the way it was worded by Trevor didn't seem like it was a part of the plan. It was because there was an uproar of people who didn't get it.
I mean,
Didn't matter how the plan was supposed to go.
I know. I'm just saying that like the original argument was that NECA for a long time had been doing that, where like they constantly just putting shit back up on their store, and they stopped. So that's why we were concerned. Yeah. But 100%, yes, you were right. You're gonna get another chance at your accessory pack, so you can put it in your expensive ass sewer diorama.
Yeah, if I buy it, I don't know. $250 doesn't even seem bad in the world that we live in.
It does
now.
when you. But here's the thing, though. If you look at this thing,
we don't know what it's coming with. We don't know what is all included yet. So
fair.
I would wait until we see it all before we start.
Okay, so let's just go. Let's assume that aside from the little like itty bitty things, everything except for the TV, since that was included in the accessory pack and won't be in this. So you get the couch, the rug, like the big things. Even that, for 3 walls and a floor, And the walls, they don't have any fucking color to them. They're just the molded color. There's no paint jobs to make it look toonified.
It's a little shady.
I think we're gonna get more than that, but
there better be, because $250 is more than what you pay for the rooftop dioramas.
Yeah.
So like that, and to have the audacity to be like, oh, we're doing an accessory pack on top of the old one, like.
I didn't catch that, and so I can't comment. I didn't get that impression.
There was nothing said about what was going to be in it. It was kind of, my understanding, it was just kind of quickly spoken about and moved on. Like, it was just said in, like, passing.
I will say, I appreciate the fact that it's going to fit. You can fit it underneath the
that is nice.
Diorama, and you can also fit the van, with it and things like that. Like, that is great. I like that. We'll see once it's announced whether or not I plunk down for it. I may or may not. Oh, and I forgot they showed off more Last Ronin Turtles too, so even more Turtles. Like,
oh yes, like the I mentioned the Last Ronin.
Yeah, well, okay.
I was telling you, because that was one of the 4 sets.
Every time I mention something.
Oh wait! Also the Adventure Turtle, the Space Adventure, and the Samurai Adventure Toon Turtle. There's only 2 right now.
Oh yeah, the Samurai
Mikey and Donatello.
Are those from a comic, or is that just an homage
to
Playmates without
at some point, right?
I think that's just them fucking around and finding out. I think that now that Playmates doesn't have the power that it used to, and Nickelodeon's letting them play around, because the way they made it sound is that these were just original ideas in that toon style.
That's how I did take that, as well.
Yeah, because they even mentioned that they wanted to do that in one of the interviews Trevor did, that he wanted to do something like that.
Yeah. Is there anything more with Turtles that you wanted to mention?
I'm going to, I want them to put the Turtle van up for pre-order again, because I'm pissed that it looks a lot better than it did when they announced it. I am in love with the Last Ronin line. The fact that we saw, Splinter, Donatello, which we'd seen, like, the checklist, but we haven't seen them, like, there. We've got a better look at Leo, Bloody Raph. Mikey was announced, and Mikey has the Ghost Brothers behind him in the window, which was a cool little addition. And
I don't think it comes with it. That was like a
no. That's just like those are probably gonna be sold separately each, or in a 3-pack.
But we forgot Mikey the Wanderer from the Mirage line.
Yes,
that didn't really get talked about a lot.
Well, I think it's because it went for pre-order like 2 months ago.
Yeah,
like it's literally it's a Best Buy exclusive.
I did not know that.
Which I don't think it was on purpose.
I will admit ignorance on that one. I did not know.
Oh yeah, that went up for pre-order back a couple months ago. Like, I think it's supposed to ship either next month or in September. So yeah, that's already been known about. So I think that's why everyone was like, "Oh, that's cool," and moved on.
Yeah,
I'm super excited for it. That's the first time we've seen it actually in person versus the renders and prototype pictures. Who else did we see? Oh, they showed off and announced the Casey Jones figure for the Ronin line. Rat King for Mirage. They showed him.
That was cool.
And Leatherhead. He was the other one for Mirage that got shown off.
Casey from the animated was really cool.
Oh yeah, because he has the business.
The business.
Yeah, and he has different. I like that they threw in different parts and accessories for him to make up for the mistakes in animation. I thought that was a nice touch. That's unique. I'll give him that. So I thought that was neat. What I will sort of shit on, the Professor Perry. I mean, come on.
2 of him.
Well, supposedly they're coming together.
Which is even dumber.
It is.
So it's a 2-pack?
Yeah, it's a 2-pack for both of them. That's what Trevor said.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it just comes with one body or 2 bodies and 1 head, which would be really shitty, or what. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, he said it was going to be like a single pack or something like that. So I just former co-host of Figuratively Speaking Corey used to always bitch about NECA being liars, and I won't say that they're liars, but they do change their mind later on, and it's just releasing something like that when when horror fans were asking for final girl characters, Heather or Nancy from Nightmare on Elm Street, any of the Friday the 13th, no, those won't sell. But Professor Perry will? Like, I don't know.
Well, so here's probably the only difference that I will give them, and that is his license probably cost $1 and a cheeseburger.
I don't know. He's dead.
So I can't imagine that like they had to pay top dollar for him.
It's weird. I
agree. It's dumb. It doesn't need made at all.
I think the throne is cool, but from what I understand, like that's only from a trading card.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not actually in the movie. Like they made it, but it wasn't actually in the finished film. Now, I will say the one thing I do like, I don't care about getting another Kino. I really don't. That's dumb. But the Kino Foot Soldier 2-pack, the Foot Soldier is a little doughy because some of the Foot Soldiers in the movie are not in the greatest of shape.
Yes.
So they did like tool up a new body for that. And again, that's a nice touch. I appreciate. I won't buy it. I'm not gonna. I'm just not gonna do it.
Yeah.
I mean, my Turtles 2. The fact that I have the 4 Turtles, I bought Kino because I could off the website. I don't think I'm gonna keep him. I don't like him as a character. I don't need it. I just did it because I could, and I was like, oh, I don't want it. I especially don't need another one. If you actually put him in a Donatello body and stuck his head out, like because he was the stunt guy for Donatello in the original movie, that would actually be something that I might be cool,
or just take the head off.
I mean, you literally could just do that, get an extra Donatello, like get a knockoff Donatello off eBay or something for like $10.
Yeah. But moving away from Turtles, if we are done,
yes,
I think we got. We pretty much have
at least for NECA.
And about stuff that 5-6 years ago they would have said wouldn't have sold, but they're making it now. They're making Murphy from RoboCop. And I'm just like, why? Why? Literally, he's in it for 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. And then he's killed, and he becomes RoboCop. Why not give us Lewis, his partner, or Clarence Boddicker, or anyone to shoot? Maybe the guy that gets his dick shot in RoboCop. I'd buy that over.
That would actually be pretty cool.
A pre-RoboCop.
Cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I would buy Dick Jones. Like, they could easily make that because they have so many suited bodies at this point.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so I was just like, ugh, I don't need that. And they're making a third McCready from The Thing. Listen, man, I love The Thing. It's a great fucking movie. I don't need 3 McCreadys. All right? Give us literally anyone else in the movie. Be great. I love Kurt Russell. Like, Kurt Russell is the man.
I mean, you're getting the gross dog.
Yeah, and I want that. I definitely want that. But give us like Jack Burton. I mean, I don't. There's issues with Big Trouble in Little China or whatever. But I would much rather have that than a third McCready. Okay. No other real great horror license were announced. They're giving us a new Chucky from the TV show, which I love, and I'll get it because I love Chucky. I love the show, but I'm like, it's still another Chucky. They're giving us a new Puppet Master 2-pack. Okay, cool. I feel like I should have done that 2 years ago. Where's the rest of them? That's weird. And then they're re-releasing House of a Thousand Corpses figures. These are not new figures. They are reissues. So the articulation blows. Blaine even said that. These are old articulated figures from 15 years ago at this point. They're repainted. They got new paint, but like, really? Like, you're just going to reissue those? Like 15-year-old figures? The same with the Freddie Mercury they announced? Like they had him in a certain pose, and that's the only pose that you're going to get him in because he has no articulation because he's almost 20 years old. And I'm just like, what? Where is the new stuff? Where is the new licenses? And I'm starting to become
Turtles.
That. Well, I'm starting to get to be that crusty, curmudgeonly old guy that's tired of all the Turtles. Like, and I don't want to be that way because I love Turtles, but it's like NECA has become 78% Turtles, and hey, we have these other licenses. Is there anything we can make from them? We can make Murphy from RoboCop. We make 6 RoboCops. We can make the guy before he dies. All right, great. Let's do it. We have 20-year-old House of a Thousand Corpses. Figure, let's slap some new paint on him. Charge $40 for it. Let's do it. It's just, I was really disappointed with NECA. Really, other than cool turtle stuff, I hope everybody gets their favorite version of the turtles. And if they haven't made your favorite version of the turtles, it doesn't exist. I don't think at this point.
Or they're working on it, because they will.
They're working on it.
Because Next Mutation's coming. Not that it's my favorite, but it's coming. It's coming.
2 years from now, the SDCC set will be the 2006 movie. It'll be in a DVD box set shaped thing.
It opens like this.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be the first to admit I'll buy them. You know, because I like those movie turtles.
But they're doing everything.
Yeah, so you know that's where I'm at. But I'm done with NECA. I just wanted to bitch a little bit. I just was a little annoyed.
Feel a little bit better. The turtles are getting a lot of attention, but they're not getting everything, because we didn't see an April from the last Ronin. So I'm just saying they didn't fill out everything. So like there's still things there. So they're being a little shysty on all the lines.
Yeah.
So.
That's true.
Real quick, back
also,
to
I just wonder
Nate
if they don't know how to do
the women figure thing with the final girls. Let's be honest, NECA does not do well with the female figures. Do you really want them tackling these characters?
No, it's just the idea of these taking a risk on some cooler things. They wouldn't do that 15 years ago, but they'll do it with certain properties. I think the Professor Perry, and I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong before. It'll happen. I just think that's going to be a lesser of a seller than even the Ninja 2-pack from the movie.
Which I feel like that's going to be probably a NECA store exclusive. I don't see that being at Walmart.
And that's probably the way to do it, but
that's if they don't want it to sit there like a fucking Hamato Yoshi 2-pack, like
that's the one I'm talking about.
Oh, I thought you're talking about the actual foot soldier. I'm like, I feel like that's sold pretty well.
That one does sell really well. Those are army builders; those always do well. But I think the Hamato Yoshi and the Orokosaki figures are great. They're great figures, but
no one wants them. They're in the movie for fucking 10 seconds.
Right.
Hell, fucking the professor was in the movie longer than they were.
This is true.
All right, switching gears from NECA then. I mean, the next thing that I'm excited about is more turtles, though, and I feel like that's going to trigger Nate.
No, it's fine. Please don't misunderstand. I love turtles too.
Like, I feel like the reason Randy wasn't there is because Nate found out what was happening and tied him up and put him in a trunk.
No, it's just I feel for the horror people, because I am one, that we feel like we helped make NECA what they are, and they're kind of screwing us.
Isn't that how that always works, though? The people who are there from the beginning are always the ones that get fucked over.
Yeah, I mean, they showed one Predator, which is cool. It's the one from Prey, which looks great. I would have loved to have seen, and again, maybe they can't do it because of licensing. I don't know, but I would have loved to have seen like a Hellraiser figure from the recent movie, a Pinhead from the recent movie. I would have loved to have seen any alien. Like, I don't know. Like, I may not even have bought it, but it's like they've stopped that line dead. I mean, there hasn't been anything announced for Alien in, I think, almost 2 years. So other than that last game, which was just repaints.
So all I'm hearing is we're going to have to do an entire video when we go to PowerCon that's just you shouting at the NECA rep. I doubt it's going to be Trevor or anyone important. It's probably just going to be like some poor intern. And it's going to be like, where's my goddamn horror figures?
And I will be respectful. And if I get a chance to talk to him, I will. Like, hey, man, what are we working on anything? Obviously, you can't tell me, but, do we have any new licenses cooking? Do we have anything I could be excited about? I feel like Universal Monsters is already kind of fizzling because there's only so many that they can make. We got Creature coming.
I'm so glad we're getting the black and white version because they hadn't said a word about it, and I feel like the color version has started to ship. And usually they're like right there, like behind.
Right.
And I was like, oh no, are they not going to make my favorite one in black and white after I've bought all the other ones I wanted in black and white? I'm so mad.
Yeah. That looks great. The Bride of Frankenstein's Monster, the deluxe, that looks great. But again, I mean, how many more left do we have? Like, we've done the heavy hitters.
And now they're start doing accessory packs and repaints.
Yeah, like they did
and Ultimates.
I can't even remember. I think it's London After Midnight. I got to be 100% honest. I've never seen it. I love Universal Monsters, but I've never seen that one. So like that's not going to be high on my list to get. And Nosferatu is cool. Technically not a Universal monster.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. We won't have a whole lot of time left here, so we'll try to make this quick. The Loyal Subjects Best Action, they showed off the IDW Turtles, specifically the Con ones. I'm hoping that they're good because they looked good based on all the pictures I saw of them there. The details look great. I'm glad that I'm getting those instead of the standard version because they didn't. The only one that was a standard version, they had the Comic-Con exclusive golden motorcycle RAF that had like no extra paint apps. And I'm like, okay, out of the two, I do prefer the like heavy wash and all the extra details. And Mondo is doing Mask of the Phantasm, so I'm probably gonna get that because it looks so damn good. And I hate getting 1/6 scale shit, but that's my favorite Batman villain. And I can't really think of anything else that really blew me away. I have a lot of other graphics prepared because I thought Nate was going to be a lot more excited about stuff, but hey, it saves me on editing.
I mean, I can roll through a couple things I collect. The Transformers panel was really unexciting for me. That's okay. That's okay. But I'll just say that was really unexciting for me. It was a lot of stuff that doesn't fit with what I buy or what I collect, with the exception of the 86 movie Ultra Magnus, but I'm not going to spend $80-$90 on another Ultra Magnus when I already have one from War for Cybertron Kingdom. So, like, it would really have to be different, or I'm going to have to get it, on sale. So there wasn't. I think there was maybe like one other like small scale one that I was excited about, which is nice on my wallet. Star Wars, they announced some cool things for Vintage Collection. They showed off some neat things. It was nice. The line seems healthy. The pipeline reveals though were a little odd. It was things like another Cassian Andor, but it was from Rogue One, who's already been on a vintage card, which I thought was weird. There was another Din Djarin from Mandalorian, another Grogu, a Phase 1 trooper, which that's fine. They're releasing Finn, and a lot of people were excited because we haven't gotten Finn in the vintage collection yet, and we thought we were going to get a Rise of Skywalker, which hasn't been made at all. But it looks like it's just going to be a re-release of the Walmart Black Series from 7 years ago with new photo reel, which that's not a great way to go. Count Dooku is exciting, no doubt about that. The Darth Revan that they showed was excellent looking. I'm super excited for that, no doubt. But then G.I. Joe, now the G.I. Joe panel was fantastic.
There either.
What the fuck did you do then? Like
I did a bunch of vintage collection. I did some Marvel Legends. I did NECA stuff. I did a bunch of the horror stuff that you didn't even talk about. Like
what?
I don't know half these things are called.
Chairs, Megan?
I don't know. I forgot that those are like your two main things, and I didn't even realize they announced anything because I hadn't seen anybody be like, "Oh my god, look at this!" or "Oh my god, look at that." Like the only thing I saw from G.I. Joe was they're doing a Jeep. That's the only thing I saw.
Yeah. Oh, the thing that annoys me about that is they announced so much. There was 3 figures at Walmart Collector Con the day of the show. They announced a whole bunch more. They did a bunch of name-only reveals. They did a bunch of digital renders. They did a bunch more of those. And then Monday, the Steel Brigade, or they call it Steel Core now, 2-pack went up for pre-order. And then today, 2 more Target exclusive figures went up. I literally have 25 to 30 G.I. Joe figures on pre-order at this point. And it's like, come on. Like, this is insane. Like, stop.
That is insane.
Stop.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So as cool as some of that stuff was, and the Vamp looks great. I'm surprised it's coming out at retail, or it might be a Pulse exclusive. I don't know, because that's going to be pretty big. I would imagine it's going to be at least 100 or 150.
I'd say it's got to be decent size, unless it's going to be real hollow or something.
Yeah. So everything that they announced, and 7 figures went up for pre-order within a week. Stop. Vintage collection. I mean, what else? What graphics did you pick for that?
So there was the 2 from Ahsoka. There was Ahsoka and what's her name? Sabine.
Ahsoka is a straight repack.
I know.
She doesn't change. I know, but that's a bummer. Like, it's another. It's a new card, new VC number, same figure.
And then
a little bit of a bummer.
There was the 4-pack of the officers, the Imperial officers, and you said Revan. We talked about Celebration, Chewie. I feel like there was one more, but I can't remember it. And then obviously I pulled the stuff for the HasLab.
Yeah, the only thing that I think was announced for Dragon Ball was King Cold and Cyborg Frieza, which I'm not getting either one of those. Like, King Cold is going to be
I did pull a bunch of stuff from that,
and...
but I've already switched over to the 3 of us without the side thing for the graphics because we only have a minute left.
Fine.
So sorry, people, you're not going to see those pictures because we waited till the last 30 seconds to tell you about it.
It's just me. It's just me being old and grumpy and bitching about too much stuff. So you don't need to see graphics for it.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, let us know in the comments below what things at SDCC you were excited about most. If you're just angry like Nate and you're just tired of it all. In which case we have a great episode for you where we ask the question of if there are too many toy announcements. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. Helps us out, gets you much toy-related content in your feed. If you're already a fan of the channel and you'd like to support us, you can head over to patreon.com/Modern Toy Fair. Link will be in the description below. Bunch of different tiers of different rewards, so check that out. We greatly appreciate it. You can check Jarmar out over at metal.tv/Jarmar Games. Nate, what you got for us?
Am I supposed to have something?
No, there was nothing from Patreon, so this was just strictly you.
All right.
So if you had something cooked up, you could give it. Otherwise, it's time for the live stream, so I'm going to...
See Barbie. Good time.
Ooh. Maybe we'll talk about that in the live
I saw both of them.
Alrighty.
But Oppenheimer is less of a good time.
Fair.
I mean, depending on what side you're on.
Anyway, hopefully see you next week. Same toy time, same Toy Fair channel. Thank you for watching.